What is going on out there, peeps? All right, let's get back into Iraq. Look at our boy here, Alawi, the Minister of Finance. We're going to get into him here in just a second. A reminder that if you are thinking about buying precious metals, and you should be, give our friends over there at Money Metals Exchange a consideration. The link is in the description. If you're a first-time buyer and you buy more than $100 worth of precious metals, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free half ounce of silver. I want to show you guys something because it's very important. Because even in Iraq, they're talking about it now. There is a lot of concern. And not just here in our country, but around the world. There is a ton of concern about who wins our election. If there's any doubt to who the world truly supports, let's try to erase this doubt. I am writing to you from Iran. Mr. Trump is also our hope. We hope that with his help, we can liberate Iran, which has fallen into the hand of religious apartheid. I write these sentences with tears. We, the people of Iran, are left alone in hope of his victory. Now, some of you could go out there and believe all the bullshit you're being told by the news. Orange man bad. But do you know there are rallies in other nations of Trump supporters in the tens of thousands? I told this story a while back about how I chat with people from New Zealand, England, the UK, Australia, people from all over the world. And I had one gentleman from Germany, one gentleman from the UK, and one gentleman from Australia. And we were talking, and just one of them made a comment. I think it was from the UK. I can't quite remember. And I was like, I'm surprised you guys even know what goes on politically over here that you care. And the guy from the UK says, of course we do. Because once Trump saves America, then he'll come save us. And I thought to myself, well, that's a weird statement. Why the hell would you say such a thing? So I did. I sent back. I said, what makes you think that? And the guy from Australia said, look, Pimpy, you don't get it. Trump saving America saves the world. People around the world believe this. And at the time, it really didn't hit me. Because if the free world collapses into the hands of this new world order agenda, then so goes the world. You see, Trump's fight is our fight. Our fight is Trump's fight. You can see, this isn't the only post I've seen like this. You could go on to YouTube and see pro-Trump rallies in the UK, Chile, Spain. They're all over the world. Go in there and do Trump rallies here in the United States. There are tens of thousands of people doing car rallies, driving by with Trump flags, boat parades in different locations. And the media is going to try to lie to us and tell us that Biden is in the lead. So you can see this lady here, or it might be a gentleman, I don't know, but it's got a picture of a woman, is telling the world, I am writing you from Iran. Mr. Trump is also our hope. This person is not the first person I've heard that from. So you could go on ahead and keep believing a hype and the lies, orange man bad, but it's bullshit. Trump is the hope for a lot of people around the world, and you're going to see that. Don't forget, we got Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. No politics. Save the politics for over here, which is the hidden things in front of your eyes. You can talk about NESARA, GESARA, QAnon, politics, current events, 9/11, false flag events, the whole nine. Speaking of false flag events, how many terrorist attacks have we seen since Trump's been in office? Do you think that's a coincidence? Go ahead. How many terrorist attacks within our country or even around the world have we seen since Trump has been in office? How many of you believe if Trump is voted out of office, you're going to start seeing mass school shootings all over again, terrorist attacks here in the United States as well as abroad? There is a reason. It is called the military-industrial complex, which is one of the things that Trump has been trying to dismantle. He has not started any new wars, but has pulled back our troops, just like he's promised. If you have Twitter, come join me over here on Twitter. The link is in the description. So let's get into this. Here's our favorite person, Alawi. The Reform Papers is a framework for a new Iraqi economy, and the massive liquidity crisis is pushing it to the brink of collapse. You guys might have seen a video I did called The Big Bang. It's in response to my favorite person when it comes to gold and silver, Lynette Zhang. She is telling us that the reset is happening. How that affects everything, we're not sure, because I heard all the chitter chatter from one extreme to the other over the last couple of days, so it blew my mind to see that she was doing a video as well. So when it comes to liquidity, the banks need liquidity to pull us out of this crisis. Well, what is one of the things that can give liquidity back to the banks? A reset on the values of gold and silver would do that. The Minister of Finance, Alawi, confirmed on Saturday that there is an increasing political will to conduct the fundamental reforms required for the country to address the massive liquidity crisis that has pushed Iraq to the brink of collapse. Alawi said that there is more will now than it was 5 months ago now. I think there is recognition that unless oil prices rise miraculously, that this is something we have to deal with and manage according to the press. With most of the world on lockdown, the demand for oil has obviously dropped. People are fed up and tired of being on lockdown now for the better part of 9 months. We are learning, or they are being censored around the world, people trying to tell us the truth about the Rona, that it's no worse than the flu. The CDC in other countries has even already downgraded the Rona to the same level as a flu. That doesn't mean it's not a threat. We all know that if you're under the age of 70, you have more than a 99% survival rate, especially if you don't have any comorbidities, okay? He added that the Reform Papers is designed to create a strategic and political framework for a new Iraqi economy. At the end of this period of change and reform, we will supposed to have had restructured and more dynamic economy. This is the aim of it. The lack of support from major political allies has undermined similar efforts in the past. Of course, we know anybody and everybody that is supported or backed by Iran are going to be against these reforms. They love the status quo because they have a way of profiting off of it, especially through the currency auctions. So what they're talking about now is how they're going to do the borrowing. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be necessary. There is so much happening right now that you guys don't see or know about. It's going to be very interesting. Supporters of the crowd demonstrate in front of the headquarters of the Iraq president. So what has happened is a group of people have attacked and burned down the Kurdistan Democratic Party's headquarters, as well as burn the Kurdistan flag, which is a huge insult. They take that very seriously, unlike the people on the left here in the United States who continue to burn our flag. So dozens of supporters of the Popular Mobilization Forces gathered on Saturday in front of the headquarters of the Iraq president, Soleil, in central Baghdad to protest against the statements of the Kurdish politicians. Well, why? Of course you're pissed. This is the group of people who are backed by Iran. Of course, when Barzani's going to come out and unload because the Kurdistan Democratic Party's headquarters was attacked, burned down, along with their flag, and they showed it. So now we got tensions again, thanks to Iran, between Kurdistan and Baghdad. Let's see what happens. So it's called the Arpatai headquarters. They were attacked. Al-Qadimi has condemned the attacks. They're going to investigate who is responsible and then deal with it. Now, that's the one thing that I do love about Al-Qadimi. This man is a man of his word, and he seems to get things done very, very quickly. So we will keep an eye on that. This is not the kind of tensions we need at this moment. Parliamentary Finance suggests passing the second borrowing law, and they want this to be part of the 2020 budget. All right, so it looks like it here. It said that the law on financing the fiscal deficit in the 2020 budget will be passed in the House of Representatives, but after amendments to the law. If there's going to be any borrowing, it better be internally. We don't want external, because the more external borrowing that Iraq does, the more they are under the thumbs of the IMF and the World Bank, who then wants to dictate policies and procedures in Iraq. Okay, so over here you can see this attack. Look at Barzani. Whoever mocks the value of the people of the Kurdistan will pay the price. They are burning the flag. They take this very seriously. They have actual pride in their flag. There's nobody taking a knee against it. Nonetheless, that's what this article is. It goes on about what happened in details. I just summed it up for you real quick. There was an attack. Right here, the hash sacrifice in defeating ISIS and terrorism cannot be denied. So they want to be recognized as well for their contributions to fighting ISIS. It goes on in here. And this is one of the reasons that caused the attack on the Kurdistan Democratic Party. Again, I won't bore you with all the details. Just understand that there's different factions who are bumping heads at the moment. The army was called in to force the crowd to withdraw. Spreads on Nineveh and Erbil borders. Again, this is starting to spread out a little bit, these protests and this uprising. Magically, go figure, right before election time. We will see what happens. So let's get down to the other news that I think it's important. Again, there's just one article after another about the burning of the flag in the headquarters. So here we go, because this is important. In Iraq, 3 files await the outcome of the U.S. election. Of course, many around the world, and that's an understatement. Many around the world are awaiting the results of the U.S. election and what the victory of one of the candidates could reflect on the U.S. foreign policies, and Iraq may be one of the most interested in what the ballot will leave. Of course there is. This president has been nominated now 4 times for the Nobel Peace Prize. He has gotten countries who now are taking a step towards nationalism in their popular populist movement to focus on their people like Trump is focusing on his. This is, in my opinion, one of the biggest reasons why we've been able to get the Abraham Peace Accord signed. As usual, two candidates will compete for the U.S. election scheduled for the 3rd of November. One of them is affiliated with the Republican Party, which is, of course, Trump. The other is with the Democratic Party. It is known that both parties have different views on dealing with external and internal files. There's no doubt about it. If Biden gets put into office, and this isn't fear-mongering, this isn't hyperbolic. All Biden is going to do is continue Obama's policies. How many of you guys remember when Obama said this?
As I've said before, this aspect of our strategy was moving too slowly, but the fall of Ramadi has galvanized the Iraqi government. So with the additional steps I ordered last month, we're speeding up training of ISIL forces, including volunteers from Sunni tribes in Anbar province.
Remember, he didn't call them ISIS. He called them ISIL. When Obama said we have sped up the training of ISIS forces, I told you guys they created, armed, funded, and trained ISIS. They even funded Al-Qaeda. This isn't new, you guys. This is the crap that's coming out now. It should have came out a long time ago. But it's coming out now. And make no doubt about it, this will continue. Again, just a quick reminder, when is the last time we saw a terrorist attack in the United States or even anywhere around the world? How many times has that happened under Trump? Let that sink in for a second.
The Obama administration knowingly gave U.S. taxpayer dollars to an al-Qaeda affiliate in Sudan. A joint I-24...
That's right. Do you think this is going to stop? Do you actually believe that Biden is going to be president? They are going to go back into creating wars, pushing countries into the Great Reset. Trump is the hope of the world. His fight is our fight is his fight. And they know it. U.S. presidential election this year comes in light of the escalating discussions about the fate of the U.S. forces in Iraq and the attempts of political forces to pressure towards the removal of all American soldiers from the country, in addition to the file of bombing operations against the U.S. Embassy and Baghdad with missiles from time to time. Observers believe that it is known that the United States is a state of institutions, and its foreign policies do not necessarily change from the arrival of this or that candidate to the White House, but nonetheless others believe that some files may be subject to presidential's views. These will start back up. ISIL is going to be thrilled. Iran is going to be celebrated. They are going to get the money that is necessary to start back up all over again. ISIS, the terrorist groups, and you're going to see them start once again attacking countries in the Middle East. Anyways, I just wanted to share this news here because there is concern. There's a lot of people that really do want Trump to win. They do not want all the terrorist attacks to start all up again all around the world. Again, I ask you, leave in a comment. You can even Google it. How many terrorist attacks have happened in the United States under Trump? How many terrorist attacks around the world have happened since Trump's been in office? How many of you even recognize the fact or even paid attention to the fact that mass school shootings and terrorist attacks have seemed to all of but disappeared since Trump's been in office. I'm not saying they were gone 100%, but that number compared to the last administration is really minuscule since Trump's been in office. All right, you guys, so this is where we are at the moment. Again, I want to remind everybody, because you guys still ask in the group, because there's a lot of newbies in there. People want to know where to go to buy the Iraqi dinar or the Vietnam dong. Go to our friends over here at UK Dinar FX. The link is in the description. You could go by there. They ship internationally, so they can ship it to anywhere you want it in the world. And if you guys use discount code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, they will save you a few dollars on your purchase. All right, so look, we know the reform papers are being reviewed. We know the problem for Iraq is liquidity. They need liquidity. Most countries need liquidity. The United States has been pumping out money like candy, trying to help these banks stay liquid. But one of the things that could give instant liquidity to banks everywhere is the reevaluation of gold and silver. All right, you guys? So that's it for now. Again, I just want to tie this all together because it is important. And that post, that Twitter post, this isn't the first. There's people all around the world that are hoping and praying for Trump's return for a second term. All right? So that's it for now. If you guys like the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later.